The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy is one of the most influential self-help books ever written, and it has remained popular for decades because it addresses a universal truth about human life. The mind shapes reality. The central idea of the book is that within every human being there exists an incredibly powerful force, the subconscious mind, which operates silently and invisibly, but it influences every aspect of our lives. The subconscious is like a fertile garden that always produces results depending on the seeds that are planted in it. The seeds are our thoughts, beliefs, and mental images, and whatever we allow to settle deeply in the subconscious eventually manifests in the outer world as experiences, circumstances, and even physical health. Dr. Joseph Murphy explains that many people go through life unaware of this tremendous power. They live mostly in their conscious minds, struggling with worries, fears, and doubts, never realizing that by impressing the subconscious with positive, clear, and confident ideas, they could create a life of success, peace, and happiness. The book begins by making the reader aware of the relationship between the conscious and subconscious parts of the mind. The conscious mind is like the captain of a ship, giving orders and choosing directions. The subconscious is like the crew below deck, following those orders without questioning whether they are right or wrong. If the conscious mind continually gives commands based on fear, worry, or lack, then the subconscious works to bring those into reality. On the other hand, if the conscious mind gives directions full of confidence, success, love, and health, the subconscious also obeys and begins shaping reality accordingly. This means that every person is, in a sense, the architect of his or her life. We cannot always control events in the outside world, but we can always control the thoughts and images we allow to dominate our minds. And these thoughts inevitably become facts in the world around us. Murphy emphasizes that the subconscious mind does not argue or reason like the conscious mind. It accepts what is given to it. If someone constantly repeats to themselves that they are unlucky, that nothing ever works out, that they will always fail, the subconscious absorbs these statements and makes them true in that person's life. On the other hand, if someone continually affirms that they are capable, worthy, and destined for success, the subconscious accepts those suggestions and works behind the scenes to bring opportunities, energy, and resources that match those beliefs. It is like planting corn or wheat in the soil. The earth does not judge the seed. It simply grows whatever is planted. In the same way, the subconscious does not judge whether an idea is beneficial or harmful. It simply responds to whatever is consistently fed into it. Throughout the book, Murphy provides countless real-life examples to show how this principle works. He tells stories of people who healed themselves of illnesses by holding fast to an image of health and repeating affirmations of wellness until the subconscious mind accepted them. He shares accounts of men and women who transformed their financial situations, careers, and relationships by changing the dominant thoughts they entertain daily. These stories are not presented as miracles in the traditional sense, but as natural laws of the mind, which work for anyone who understands them and applies them faithfully. Just as gravity works whether a person believes in it or not, the subconscious law works whether a person understands it or not. The difference is that those who learn to use it consciously can direct it toward positive ends rather than allowing it to run uncontrolled, producing negative outcomes. Murphy also makes it clear that faith is a key factor in influencing the subconscious. Faith here does not necessarily mean religious faith, although spiritual belief can be a powerful support. Faith means a deep inner conviction that what one desires is possible and already on the way. The subconscious responds most strongly to thoughts that are charged with emotion, and faith is the highest form of emotion because it combines desire with absolute confidence. For example, if a person says an affirmation such as, "I am healthy and strong," but inwardly doubts it, the subconscious receives the doubt as much as the words. But if a person says it with faith, feeling as though the statement is already true, the subconscious accepts the message fully and begins to manifest it in the body and circumstances. This is why visualization is so effective. When the mind vividly imagines a desired state with emotion, the subconscious accepts it as reality and works tirelessly to bring it about. Another important point Murphy stresses is the role of the subconscious in sleep. He explains that before falling asleep, the conscious mind relaxes and the subconscious becomes more open to suggestions. If a person goes to bed full of worry, replaying fears or problems in their mind, the subconscious takes those impressions and works on them during sleep, often intensifying them. But if a person fills their mind with thoughts of peace, success, and gratitude before sleep, the subconscious receives these impressions and continues to develop them throughout the night, bringing creative ideas, solutions, and renewed energy by morning. Murphy encourages readers to use bedtime as a golden opportunity to plant positive seeds in the subconscious through affirmations, prayers, or visualizations. The subconscious mind is also closely connected to the body. Murphy explains that many physical illnesses are rooted in negative mental patterns. Fear, resentment, guilt, and anger are destructive emotions that poison the subconscious and eventually manifest as disease in the body. Conversely, emotions of love, forgiveness, joy, and gratitude are healing forces that strengthen the body and promote health. He gives examples of people who cured themselves of ailments simply by forgiving someone they had held anger against for years. The act of releasing resentment removed a mental block that had been preventing the subconscious from restoring health. This highlights how closely mental and physical well-being are linked and how important it is to keep the subconscious nourished with life-giving thoughts. The book also speaks about wealth and success. Murphy insists that there is nothing wrong with desiring abundance. The subconscious mind, when properly directed, can lead a person toward prosperity by opening doors, inspiring ideas, and attracting favorable conditions. However, Murphy warns against selfishness or greed. He emphasizes that true success must also benefit others and be aligned with higher values. The person who seeks wealth by affirming abundance, not just for themselves, but for others, too, will find the subconscious responding more powerfully. He points out that many people block their own prosperity by harboring beliefs such as money is evil or I do not deserve wealth. The subconscious, taking these beliefs as instructions, keeps them in financial struggle. But when a person changes their inner pattern to affirm that wealth is good, that it can be used for positive purposes, and that they are worthy of it, the subconscious begins to attract opportunities for prosperity. Murphy also emphasizes the role of imagination in shaping life. The imagination is the tool through which the conscious mind gives clear instructions to the subconscious. When a person vividly imagines themselves already living the life they want, healthy, successful, loved, the subconscious accepts that mental picture as a blueprint and works to make it real. This is why athletes practice visualization, imagining themselves performing perfectly, because the subconscious cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined event and a real one. Repeated imagination eventually becomes belief, and belief is what the subconscious acts upon. Therefore, cultivating the habit of constructive imagination is one of the most powerful methods to direct the subconscious. The subconscious mind not only influences our personal lives, but also extends its reach into the world around us. Murphy explains that the subconscious connects us to what he calls the universal mind, or the infinite intelligence of life itself. This connection means that when we impress our subconscious with a clear idea, it does not only work within our own mind, but also interacts with people, circumstances, and events to bring about the conditions needed for that idea to materialize. For instance, someone who holds firmly to the belief that they will find the perfect job might suddenly meet a person who offers an unexpected opportunity or come across an advertisement that seems placed exactly for them. These events may appear as coincidences, but Murphy insists they are the natural result of subconscious law. The subconscious knows how to bring about results in ways that the conscious mind cannot predict. Our task is not to figure out the how, but to maintain unwavering faith in the desired outcome. Murphy often compares the subconscious mind to a faithful servant or even to a powerful engine that never stops working. The conscious mind may grow tired, but the subconscious operates day and night, controlling bodily functions, repairing tissues, and keeping the heart beating, all without our awareness. This alone shows the remarkable intelligence and power hidden within us. If the subconscious can regulate millions of processes in the body without conscious effort, then it is also capable of handling complex challenges in life, provided we give it the right direction. This is why Murphy emphasizes the importance of speaking to the subconscious with positive affirmations, especially when we feel uncertain or overwhelmed. He advises simple yet powerful statements like, "Infinite intelligence guides me," or "I am divinely led," because such words create a sense of calm and assurance that the subconscious then translates into solutions and guidance. Fear, doubt, and negative suggestions, however, are like poison to the subconscious. Murphy repeatedly warns that many people live under the influence of negative suggestions given by others or by themselves. For example, a parent may tell a child that they will never succeed, and if the child accepts that idea, it becomes embedded in the subconscious and later shapes their adult life. Similarly, people often suggest to themselves that they are too old, too weak, or not intelligent enough, and the subconscious accepts those ideas and reflects them in reality. The antidote is to consciously reject negative suggestions and replace them with positive ones. If someone says you will fail, Murphy advises responding inwardly with the opposite: "Success is mine. I prosper in all I do." Over time, the subconscious erases the old negative impressions and replaces them with life-affirming truths. The role of forgiveness is another key theme in Murphy's book. He explains that holding on to resentment or hatred is one of the most destructive mental habits a person can have. When someone refuses to forgive, they keep replaying scenes of hurt and anger in their minds, and these impressions sink deeply into the subconscious, creating bitterness, stress, and even physical illness. To forgive is not to condone the wrong, but to release oneself from the chain of negative emotions. Murphy suggests repeating affirmations such as, "I freely forgive and release. I radiate love, peace, and goodwill to all," until the subconscious mind accepts the new attitude. Many of the healing stories he shares involve people who regained health or peace of mind only after they let go of grudges and filled their hearts with forgiveness. Another fascinating aspect Murphy discusses is the creative power of dreams. While many dreams are simply the mind's way of processing daily events, some dreams are messages from the subconscious, offering guidance or solutions to problems. He notes that many scientists, artists, and inventors throughout history have received brilliant insights through dreams. By programming the subconscious before sleep with a clear request, such as asking for the solution to a problem, one can often wake up with a new idea or direction. Murphy encourages readers to develop this habit of giving the subconscious specific tasks before bedtime, confident that answers will come in one form or another. Murphy also highlights the importance of gratitude as a force that amplifies the work of the subconscious. When a person constantly complains or focuses on what is lacking, the subconscious accepts those impressions and continues to manifest more lack. But when a person lives in a state of thankfulness, appreciating what they already have and expecting more good to come, the subconscious amplifies those vibrations and brings even greater blessings. Gratitude is like sunshine to the garden of the subconscious. It makes everything grow more abundantly. This is why Murphy advises readers to give thanks not only for what is already present, but also for the things they desire, as though they had already received them. By doing so, the subconscious begins to act as though the desired condition is already real, and life gradually aligns to make it so. The relationship between the subconscious and universal spiritual principles is also a recurring theme. Murphy draws from various religious traditions, especially Christianity, but his message is universal rather than dogmatic. He interprets biblical passages not literally, but as symbolic lessons about the power of the mind. For instance, he explains that when Jesus said, "According to your faith be it unto you," this was not a promise of miracles for a select few, but a statement of a universal law, that the subconscious responds to faith. Whether a person is religious or not, the principle holds true. Murphy's aim is to show that the laws of the subconscious are available to all people, regardless of background or belief, because they're simply part of human nature. One of the practical techniques Murphy teaches is called the affirmative method. This involves repeating positive statements in a calm, confident manner until they are impressed on the subconscious. For example, someone struggling with financial problems might repeat several times a day, "Wealth flows to me freely and abundantly. I am prosperous and successful." By doing this consistently, the subconscious begins to shift the person's inner belief, and external circumstances eventually start to change to reflect the new pattern. Another method he describes is visualization, creating a mental movie of oneself already enjoying the desired outcome. If a person wants to improve health, they can imagine themselves running, laughing, or enjoying life with energy. The subconscious accepts the image as a command and begins to influence the body accordingly. Murphy also talks about the scientific prayer, which is not begging or pleading with an external deity, but rather aligning one's conscious and subconscious mind with the desired outcome. He suggests formulating a clear, positive statement of what is desired, entering a relaxed state, and then affirming the statement with faith and feeling. This practice impresses the subconscious deeply, and results often follow. Many of the success stories in his book involve people who practiced this form of prayer and experienced remarkable changes, from healing incurable illnesses to finding jobs to reconciling broken relationships. A critical point Murphy makes is that results may not always come immediately, but persistence is key. Just as a seed takes time to grow into a tree, subconscious impressions often need time to unfold into reality. People sometimes give up too soon, declaring that it didn't work, when in fact the subconscious was already at work behind the scenes. Faith requires patience, and those who continue to nurture positive thoughts will eventually see them manifested. The subconscious does not fail. It always responds to the patterns it receives, and if those patterns are consistent and filled with faith, results are inevitable.